All right, so here's a thought. A lot of those reasons that we give for not getting unstuck, not getting out of our rut, 99% of them, they're not reasons, they're excuses. So we always say, well, I would do this, but I can't because of X. I used to know a guy at university, and he would say, well, I would get my act together, but I've got to tidy my room first. And it's a lame excuse, not a reason at all, but a lame excuse. And you know what happened? He never tidied his room, so he never got out of his rut. And we do this day in, day out. We don't have the resources, we're not clever enough, we're not smart enough. And all we're doing is we're making excuses. And the reason we're making excuses is because to take action, we have to admit that we've messed up and that we're in a bad place. And that means taking responsibility for it. But as long as we're making excuses and giving these reasons, it's not our fault, right? We can always blame how unfair life is and how unlucky we've been and how all these other people have kind of tripped us up along the way. And that gives us a reason not to take responsibility. But when we stop making excuses, we have to face up to the fact that we got here because of the choices we've made or the decisions we've made or our lack of action, for example. And that means stepping up and owning our lives. And what's great about that is as soon as we take responsibility for our failures, it means that we can take responsibility for our successes. If we're responsible for the thing that got us here, we can be responsible for the thing that gets us out of here. But here's the problem, and it's a problem of ego. Because as soon as we realize that we are here by our own hand, that these reasons we're giving are just excuses, we feel ashamed. We're ashamed that we're in this situation. We're ashamed of the choices we've made and the mistakes and the cock-ups and the wrong paths we've taken. And that is ego. And there's nothing better than to break through ego than to say, yes, it was me that cocked up. Yes, it's my fault. But also, yes, it's me that's going to get myself out of this. And a great way of doing that is through meditation. And I'm always talking about meditation, but meditation enables us to step away from our thoughts and step away from our pride and our ego and say, this is the situation. Non-judgmentally, just that I am here. And to get out of here, I need to take action, I need to take steps, and I need to keep taking steps until my situation improves. But it's not just ego, it's fear as well, because there's a certain amount of fear involved with taking action and moving from what we know into what we don't know. For example, what if I fail? What if I waste all that time? What if it doesn't work out? What will people think? Lots of unknowns, right? And to take action, we have to step into that void. I've talked about that quote from Jean-Luc Godard. Those who jump into the void don't need to pay any attention to those who are standing on the sidelines. And until we take action, we're standing on the sidelines because we're afraid. And sometimes it's easier to stay where we are, stuck in a rut that we're familiar with, a situation that we can feel sorry for ourselves in and make excuses because that's what we know. Whereas the action and the place that will take us, it's unknown, and that's daunting, and that's frightening. But, we're not little children anymore. We don't need to be afraid of the dark. There are people who've gone out there and they've done the same things that we've done. We just need to have the courage to overcome that inertia and just get started. So stop being afraid, stop being ashamed, just get on with it. All right, cheers.